Welcome everybody. A lot of people here to fight the crowds again today. Yeah. The main cars haven't arrived yet. We'll just go through these first, and then we've got to fight the crowd.
I'm excited to see some carnage that I've seen.
Your car's dirty, man.
Have to park a couple of kilometres away. Coastline BMW, these are all the dealers. Sorry.
Thank you.
Matte black. There's a lot of people there. Thousands and thousands. It's find a way to get in here, even to find a park. Porsches. GD3.
That's the original I was talking about. Yeah, that's the original. That's the first one.
Well, the main cars haven't come yet. They're down the main street. We'll just do these.
The other guys have either, so one of the young mechanics went through.
You're right, mate. On live anyway.
Building up on the top there.
But they will. They've got an engine deal with Ferrari now. Parece que las con Martin y you do know a lot of people.
It's a nice green. Aston Martin.
I didn't get into that.
It is, mate. Mild winter, as they say.
I think I'll have to do this all again with Daddy. He'll be very excited.
Saw a lot of cars lined up at the coffee shop, so I thought I'd come down here. I haven't been to this event before,
Once they're parked up, obviously.
but there's plenty of people on the main street.
Driving in, everyone will be standing and playing. If you're not there early.
Yeah, so if you're not standing in the middle there, they reckon you won't be getting a view. So, anyway, I want to cross the road because there's less people on the other side of the road, it seems to be. And we're probably going to get music today sometime. And it's really windy too. Not sure how that sounds, I didn't bring the mic. Car's parked about 2 k's away. Hit the subscribe button if you already haven't done so. Probably about 5,000 people or more here. And it's only going to get busier, they reckon. Yeah, I got mine on. All officials in the white. I think they come in from this direction. Definitely going to be a lot of money showing up. People have already got their wallets out for these fancy restaurants and cafes. Parking's like $10 an hour here. We're in yuppie territory. Not sure if that's last year's winner. All the spaces are empty. Suppose we better line up down here. Free camera. They close the street off. There's already people lining the streets down there, so better pick a spot. I noticed this side's not marked off with ropes here, it's all the other side. And I watch a few videos on YouTube too, and people are swarming around cars when they come in. No worries, mate. Thanks for following. Much appreciated. Even people lined up in the middle too. This is probably the closest we'll get if they don't chuck us off the road. I'm probably better just hanging around here. In about 7 minutes they shut the road down. Thanks for the $10, mate. Much appreciated. every little bit helps. As you probably know, I'm doing up my car too. I've got all 4 day tomorrow at Willowbank Raceway. EB XR8 Falcon. There's plenty of EB XR8s around, but mine's 101. Got Phase 8 badging. There's a documentary on it too. Yeah, it took me almost 2 hours to get up here from Brisbane. Not sure how long I'll stay around today. I've got a choice of going to Joe's Diner Eagle Farm, and they've got a bunch of motorbikes there. Or I stay here for the end of it, so otherwise I have to leave here about 2 o'clock to get down there.
You're going to have to get off the road, there's going to be cars coming through.
Bit low, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. That should be a good day other than I'm just putting a power bank me on my phone.
Everyone's employed.
Just have to stand here and wait now for them to come.
I think it's starting. Look.
So we had to sit there and they said, any seats for the next plane, another hour, okay? So there's no seats at the moment. Suddenly got on it, flew into a cargo. Run, half of it probably. Go to the terminal where to get the flight over to the San Francisco. We got there in 30 seconds. The going to close in 30 seconds. We went home without any luggage. It came a couple of days later.
Yeah. Oh my god. I mean, you made it. Personally.
Yeah? Oh, thanks.
You're just keeping you on your toes, Bob.
And you can imagine how big an airport Chicago is.
I don't.
That's where the airport is.
Yeah, they would be massive.
And we had to run through trying to find out where
Oh,
we were
Mum.
going to get. Thank you.
I can just imagine how much for a cup of coffee here would be. Looks more yuppie than Gold Coast. Very hard to get a car park here. Like I said, I walked about 2 k's from here to get a car park.
very special car, the 2025 Concours Jesco Attack. The only attack in Australia, but one of two Jescos in the country, so very special car.
Tell me about this new 23 Ferrari making its way down Hastings Street. It's a 2025 SF90 XF Stardale. I can't wait to get up close and personal with that one. Followed by another Ferrari and then the Lamborghini. You cannot miss that one, can you?
No, definitely not, Jess. We have two Lamborghinis there, the yellow SV, the yellow car, and the Chilago EB XR8 SV. Followed by the August 2005 Ladies on the Civic Noosa. And first, of course, is coming through 2018 991.2 GT2 RS, one of the most track focused cars that Porsche brought out back in 2018. So that's a special car. It's an Australian built single blade 4.4 litre and back about 911. So very special car, and they've got the Australian and international distribution in that car too.
And just as our cars are coming down the street, everybody remember to give them plenty of space, keep well off the road, take as many photos as you can, wave to our incredible owners and drivers, but please be respectful of these incredible cars as they make their way down Hastings Street. And tell me about this McLaren, the Senna, unbelievable to have it here with us today. Now what's exciting is we welcome our supercars to the supercar circle at the very end of Hastings Street. Coming in is our anniversary collection. These are some really, really special branded cars. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect to see as they make their way.
It's a special celebration, 60th anniversary, so that won last championship. And we've got 6 ropes and also a Coupe Climax, the 58 Coupe. Now, the 58 Coupe was one of the original cars that Sergio first developed and improved, and that led the way and marked the way for collaboration that he did with to build ropes later on.
So 6 cars that will be on display here today. Of the 6 that we've got, what are you really looking forward to getting up close and personal with?
I like 67 BT23. It's a really lovely car. It's been for a number of years. And what's special is the current owner had served that actually seen the car back in late 2014. They started the car on green, so it's 50 years after he last raced that car. He wanted to.
Incredible history of how on the inside.
That Jesco as well.
The
SF90
earliest
is
car
great now.
from the 1800s right through to our modern day supercars.
2025 is one of the first cars to release the 1897 Daimler, 4 horsepower, twin cylinder. So it's actually one of the oldest cars remaining in the world. So it's not a special car. It was the beginning of development of the cars to build.
So it really helps us see the progression, doesn't it? Through ingenuity, engineering, performance, design, of all of the cars that we have on the display today. What are you most looking forward to seeing?
Look, I've got a soft spot for anything really from the sort of veteran music right through. So it's not one particular car. I'm excited to see. The beginning we have Type 46 is a very special car. Then you've got the beautiful 54 Mercedes 300 SL Goldwing. We had a complete restoration done. There's a special Lancer Astro that has had a 100-point restoration carried out in the last couple of years. That's been the same ownership for the past 60 years. So that's quite special. It took part in several rallies in Italy, prior to coming to Australia. And then we've got as I said, all the way up to modern cars. So there's something for everyone really here at Concours today.
Around 4 o'clock this afternoon, cast your People's Choice vote, and we'll be handing out the award for the most popular car here in and amongst the crowd later this afternoon. But the judging process is a really interesting one. We've got our judges here today with this, who will be part of our award ceremony, and they'll be explaining exactly what they're looking for and the criteria they set to hand out some of the awards that we've got today, which is really interesting and exciting part of the concourse experience.
There's so much involved in the judging criteria. I've been fortunate to be part of concourse events for the past 20 years. And they go through a pretty hard process. And you have people out of it, trying to show them the good parts of the vehicle. So they get together at other points on the issue. Sometimes, we might be a it's not exactly what they say.
Yeah, tell me some of the other things that they'll be looking for specifically, the variety of categories that we have.
They look originality, correctness, independence, level of restoration or originality, depending on whether the vehicles are original.
When they all park up, we'll get a closer look.
Chassis, through to panel, fits, door gaps, paint quality, finish, engine bay quality, correctness, all that's finished. Sometimes it makes a difference between something being finished and correct, gloss black or black.
And don't forget, we've got lots of activations up and down Hastings Street today that you can get involved with. BRISBANE, we're making our way down the cars on display, having a couple of conversations, imparting a few more facts and information about the cars that are on display today. We'll have a conversation also a little later today about our supercars. There's a lot of today, so make sure you tap into all of that and really get involved with the concourse, because there aren't too many opportunities here in Australia where we actually get to up close and personal with cars of this vintage, but also of this rarity.
Absolutely. We have today less concourse events than we used to of this category. So it is Noosa is quite important today on the calendar for collectors and enthusiasts. The turnout today is fabulous. It's a reflection of people wanting to see what we have here. I think we've got the programs coming on.
We sure do. Talk us through our first one.
Alright, so the first one here, we have the 67 Oreco BT23, actually driven by Sir Jack's grandson, Sam Rudd. So very, very special. Followed by the 64 BT 11A, and the other BT sit around. That's what things start. So there's an opportunity to get around and enjoy it.
What's incredible about the early cars too is to have an understanding of the engineering back in the day and how that set the tone for what we see in modern automotive.
Absolutely. You know, to understand that, especially these early cars had custom coach work, so you know you had someone down the road that you went to see who built the body out of wood, and it was either a fabric coat initially or the aluminium body went on afterwards. So quite special.
Indeed. So we'll start off with the Rolls Royces and then we get to a 1930s Bugatti. Tell me a little bit about that car.
That's a special car. I mean, we don't have a huge number of Bugattis in Australia already, but so the Type 46 Sydney Victoria here is special.
There's a Bentley coming our way too, a 1936 Bentley.
In 4-to-4 Beta class sports coupe. In the Beta class refers to the coach work. So they were a coach builder in the UK, very famous for putting bodies on a lot of different manufacturers over the years.
We've got some modes coming as well. What's really interesting is seeing the different models year on year is the evolution of a lot of these cars too.
It is, and I mean, Mercedes were very ahead of their time in the engineering. So a lot of the stuff that we see in Mercedes or some of these European cars, we can see introduced in American or Australian cars for much later.
Now we've got a very special Aston Martin joining us on the Concours this year. It was unveiled yesterday afternoon. It's undergone an incredible restoration, and the story behind how this car was acquired is really fascinating as well. It's a very special colour, and this is one everyone should keep an eye out for.
Yeah, the 69 Aston Martin DB6 Advantage. It's one of the later DB6s. So it's probably the difference is it lacks the superleggera badges on the bonnet. It does not have the Vantage badges on the sidecars. But the mid colour that's finished is, I believe, one of the 4 ever produced in that colour. And it's got that beautiful red leather interior. Special car.
The mid colour has to be seen with the naked eye, doesn't it? It's almost impossible to describe it. It's sort of champagne, a little bit pink.
That's right, correct. Yeah. Well, the smile on your face is, I think it's one of your favourites.
I think it's an early runner, or one of my favourites for sure. It was great to be able to have a good look over it yesterday. And everyone here on Hastings Street is going to enjoy that one. Now, a lot of the fan favourites are, of course, the Ferraris, and we've got one number on display here today.
Yeah, we do. We've got probably one of the most special cars we've got with us is the Ferrari F40. Supercar of its day, and it's been incredible to see the value of those cars go on in the last 10 years. So definitely special to have you over and bring that car around today.
And the colour is always hot today. You don't have yellow. What is it?
Yeah, I mean, the F40's got to be red. It's a colour that works on the F40. But we did have an earlier Ferrari 365 GTC, which is a very rare car in itself. That's due to the beautiful metallic olive green. And I think a lot of these early Ferraris, whether it's the 250 series or the 300 series, they work well in pastel colours and some of these different colours, not necessarily red. So I think we've got a Dino also joining us at 246. That's finished in a metallic brown colour, but it absolutely works on the track of the Dino.
So probably in competition with the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis. Tell us about some of the Lambos that are being here today.
Special standout for me is the GT350, or 350 GT, some people refer to it. It's a silver colour with a beautiful red leather exterior. Still not yet on. Cars coming out from the US some years ago. And the collection of Lamborghinis here in Australia.
Conversion, right-hand drive, from left-hand drive.
Not those from left to right today. The originality of that car and the
to get back off the road. Everyone that side needs to give them some
Incredible. I don't think we're too far away from having the first of our Concours collection join us. But there's another collection today. Tell me a little bit about that.
As raw as they get, probably one of the loudest cars when it comes to original we've only got a handful of them here, so it's nice to have you come out.
We've got all the big marks represented here in our 2026 Noosa Concours to Elegance collection. Some Maseratis in the collection, a couple of those, I think.
We've got Maserati Missile Spider. It's bright yellow colour with a brown interior. It's a special car. It's actually one of 14 style spiders.
And Porsches as well, plenty of 911s, which is, I think, a fascinating opportunity to see the evolution of those cars as well.
It is something that Porsches are very, very close to my heart. And we are fortunate to have a great selection of Porsches representing the 75th anniversary of Porsches here in Australia. Porsches were brought in by Norman Hamilton originally when he was on a trip to Germany from Austria to
what they got to do.
he saw a silver 356 and the rest is history. He ended up in the Australian distribution and New Zealand. We're very blessed today. The first Porsches that come through is a 356 Cabriolet, which is the first right-hand drive Cabriolet ever built. From memory, Norman Hamilton actually put some money behind the right-hand drive cars. So he paid Porsche money to actually make the cars right-hand drive.
Fascinating. Of the Porsches coming through, which is your favourite?
Well, that car's got a special history, especially in fish silver. We saw the 70th anniversary in Victoria, built in that colour. There was 25 examples built, one went back to the museum in Germany, and we were 24 of those cars here. None of the cars were special. I've got a soft spot for most of them. Every car we've got in our selection is special. We were 73R Historia, which is the most significant car in small bumper 901 series. We've got the 932, which was a car from 9506. We've got the 997 GT3R is the full-led configuration, which again was another car brought out here. And the last car in the collection is the 2025 911C.
Okay, we're keeping an eye out for that one. We've got a couple of jazz as well. Going to New Zealand. Alright, so let's go through a couple of the interesting talking points around some of the cars that we have. We know the oldest car that we have in the collection today is an 1897 Daimler. The newest car we have would be...
The 2025 Hastings Street attack, and also the Ferrari 90 XR8, and it's 2024, so yeah, so the Hastings Street is 19 at least.
In terms of some of the components that we can see here in Street today, here today. Many of them are road cars. Back in the day, you ride purely for the track experience, but that has evolved now into making sure that track performance actually translates onto the road.
Absolutely. The G-Star 10 is probably one of the closest track car you can find here today. So it's incredible that we have these cars and we're able to get those routes. Especially when I'm on the road. You'll be here on the road.
You certainly do. You need to be very disciplined the application of the throttle line. So great to have a collection of cars that spans 128 years in automotive history here. I think the cars are not too far away from us. Look at the crowds here in Noosa. This event just gets bigger and better every single year. Congratulations to our organisers for this incredible opportunity on here in Noosa. It is. This is literally the only event that will close down Hastings Street. I know look at these blue spots. I don't think we were confident that we were going to have them based on the weather that rolled through me yesterday, but I know all of the owners are very, very happy that there isn't any raindrops at the moment. And I just want to remind everyone as we get set for our concours selection to come through that we want to be really respectful of these incredible motor cars that are here with us today. We can make sure we're standing well back off the road as they make their way down Hastings Street. And of course, keep our distance, take photos, please don't say hello to all of our owners that will be probably alongside the vehicles for most of the day, but we want to make sure that all of these cars are respected and looked after in the fashion they deserve. So a big thank you to everyone that's come down here this morning, engaged with the event. We really hope you enjoy it today. Get up close and personal with these incredible cars on display. If you could please just keep in the back of your minds to keep your distance a little bit and make sure that we take care of these cars.
Absolutely. We're blessed that these owners have brought these cars out. Some of them were millions. So we do have to be respectful. And we will have an opportunity to ride very close to the cars today. And some of these cars you may have never seen on the road or in real life. So what a great opportunity.
Now another car that we haven't covered off yet, which is probably a little different to some of the other vehicles that we see in the collection, is a 1965 Land Rover car. Tell me a little bit about that car and what makes it special.
The 65 Land Rover. I had an opportunity to get the owners last night to carry out the restoration on it. We've got a great following for Land Rovers. This one's a series 2. It's a beautifully restored back to the original condition. So we're following. We've seen a lot of people having it down at the beach house these days, on the farms, and they're really coming to their own. So it's beautiful to see that there are some restored
They have traversed the test of time, haven't they? It's been fantastic to see. As far as the colours go, we've got a real mix of things here. Some really unique colours as well.
There are, it's interesting when we look at those cars, we're looking at the blacks and going around with the whites. We've got colours, but it's incredible to see some of the pastel colours that we've had in a few years. Some of the bright colours.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our concourse begins as the cars make their way down Hastings Street. Please give them a big round of applause and welcome them into the concourse.
The two first cars, the 124 Rolls-Royce 40 horsepower Silver Ghost, followed by the 1910 Rolls-Royce 40 horsepower Silver Ghost, and the 1897 Daimler 4 horsepower Tonneau, and the gorgeous 1930 Yeti Type 46 Henry Propeller coming through now.
Thank God it's not raining for like it says, so there was a early entrance for that very special car. So we're now waiting on the 1960 So we've got a couple of those on their way to us in a 1960 Jaguar M.
So what's great about the next two cars, the first one, the 54 300 SL Goldwing, followed by the 57 300 SL Roadster. So it shows you the two variants that the 300 SL was built in, apart from the race car and the 300 SLR. Museum in Germany, and private collections in Germany.
We have an Austin Healy on its way to us as well.
100 SL with significant Australian racing history. From Henry to part in the 56 Grand Prix, to 4 or 5 owners,
Very special car, wonderful to have that as part of the concourse here today. A Ford Thunderbird is also making its way to us now. Tell us a little bit about that car.
This was the first Thunderbird and beautiful car in here, always finished in pastel colours.
As our next lot of vehicles make their way to Hastings Street, just a friendly reminder to the wonderful crowd that have turned out here this morning, can you please make sure that you're well off the road. As the cars make their way onto Hastings Street, we want to make sure that everyone here is safe and that there is plenty of room for the cars as they make their way into the concourse collection.
We had a chance to have a look at the interior and the 300 SL Goldwing, which was a rare option in the 300 SL.
We've got a 1957
Yes, I mean, 57 was the iconic year for the Bel-Air, beautiful wing on the rear, and that was a stylish period.
So we just had a little bit of a pause as our concourse cars make their way here onto Hastings Street. But we have a whole number of cars still to join us here. We've run through a couple of them, but there's a 2009 Morgan Aero 8 that's also on us. Tell me a little bit more about that car and what makes it so special.
Good age in general, quite a rare size here in Australia, and the era we will maybe have a handful of very powerful aluminium quality, basically modernise the 1838 ER8. I can't remember if this one has a special ownership at some stage.
Well, the owners themselves have some pretty special stories to tell us a little bit about some of the owners into their clubs, into the concourse this year.
Some parts come across from Victoria, from New South Wales, from South Australia, and the owners have done it at their own cost. So it's quite special that they invest the time and effort into bringing these cars up to Noosa. Honestly, so if you're from Adelaide or Victoria to you get a week home and come up here for a week. So
I don't think anyone needs an excuse to come to Noosa, especially when there's an incredible car show on. Absolutely. We've got an 1968 Fiat Spider as part of the concourse here today in a beautiful colour. Tell us a little bit more about that car.
Yeah.
the Spider is a series 2 of
Same double
black interior.
in some light. It looks black.
It's got a beautiful solid car, similar to what we see on the 246 Saturday. It's a beautiful car itself. You got half a dozen of them here in examples of Australia.
Here's a fun fact for you about that car. It made a cameo appearance in Falcon.
No, you don't.
We've got a birthday in the crowd too. We happy birthday to Nicholas Yu. It's his 50th. Happy birthday, Nicholas. I hope you have a great time. You are the second best sponsored child of all time. Someone stitch you in and come up for a shout out. Happy birthday, Nick. Plenty of celebrating this weekend, that's for sure. Take one second. Alright, so it looks like we've got some movement here. Our next vehicles are making their way into Hastings Street.
It's worth it. You'd be like down in space.
300 cell Goldwing. Beautiful car, fully restored 10 years ago, and still presents in immaculate condition. It's only got 1,600 kilometres.
Yeah.
Actually,
Can you all move back just a little bit more, please?
and followed by the 57 300 cell Roadster. Given by Coke and now we've got the gorgeous XK150 from 1955. That's a Dolphin model. And followed by the 1960 Jaguar Mark II, a beautiful car finished that red. Boston Healy, with significant Australian racing history from the period. And this car I mentioned before, the Zagato Sport model, and with significant racing history in the early 1960s. And current ownership of the last 10 years. Gorgeous pastel car. The roof's off. Followed by the 57 Chevrolet Bel Air Sports 2 with a spare tyre on the rear, mounted on the rear, and 2 antennas doors.
I see a 1961.
Aston Martin DB4 GT Special Zagato, finished the Aston Martin Racing Green colour, and that's followed by the 1964 Aston Martin DB5 in the John A. Rosso colour. And here's our 64 Maserati British Trail Spider, right-hand drive in yellow, followed by the gorgeous 63 model Mercedes-Benz 300 SD Cabriolet in a light grey, and that's a
So we've got a couple of Ferraris coming up as well in this next group of cars.
Absolutely, with the Torstino, one of the first cars that Ferrari built in the late 60s, early 70s, and so very rare Ferrari 265 GTC.
their way to Hastings Street, and we get all of the wonderful crowd down here with this morning to stand back as we welcome the 1969 Aston Martin DB6 Vantage in pink onto Hastings Street. Morning, Charlie. The car looks great. Say hi, everyone, to Charlie. This is an incredible car, and what a story behind the acquisition of it.
That's right. I mean, one ownership for a very long time. and we like to keep 302 minutes finally. And it's going to be sort of that low
Yeah, and the history of this car is really interesting too. It's sat under our house for quite some time and was acquired by a South Australian.
One of Australia's most prized possessions, given up to the Phase 3, followed by the Gordon City 3, which is an interceptor Mark 3, and beautiful 69 Mercedes-Benz 280 style Pagoda. And here we go, muscle and beef master Van Noosa, finished at Australia in 2024, and only 1,963 cars built worldwide, and only a small number were Ryanair drive also.
What
So
do you
lightweight
think happened?
911 ST, a little bit different from the standard 911. The cars are a bit different to the fantastic Formula and classics engine, producing 525.
So, maybe the street
And 0 to 100 is 3.7 seconds.
3.7 seconds. Incredible performance.
Yeah, and finishing, as I mentioned, the pace sample car, which is basically special order colour of Porsche, or racing green is the colour. Or racing green.
Unbelievable to see with an naked eye. Photographs just don't do it justice, does it? So our final cars are making their way onto Hastings Street. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2026 Noosa Concours to Elegance is officially opened. Have a fabulous day getting up close and personal with all of these cars. And make sure you stick around here on Hastings Street later this afternoon when we unveil the winners of the concours. Have a wonderful day and we'll see you on Hastings Street.
Yeah. Hindi nabibigulog pa yan. Mamakan sila pagkapas na kaya. Alright, see you in the
Why don't you do it all
Sorry, chat. It's a little hard fighting the crowd. It's literally thousands, thousands and thousands.
varieties.
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you take the crowd first.
Right.
I learned that from a long time I'm doing this sort of stuff.
It's the challenge, isn't it? Just the patience on these sort of days.
Got to use your sixth sense too.
Yeah.
I'll be at all 4 day tomorrow at Willowbank. It's nothing like this, the crowd.
I was there last year. Not going to make it this year, but yeah, they're the same.
And then rarity too, everything's rare as hand to see. Is that for YouTube?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm live. I'm live.
Right. Oh,
I'm Robot Andy on YouTube. If you look up all 4 days tomorrow, you'll see me live streaming there tomorrow too. Who are you on YouTube?
Carl Australia.
Carl Australia, okay. I think I've seen that one.
Dude, are you in, we're at Noosa Concours right now.
I'll grab one of those books for you, mate. Thanks.
Maybe not.
Maybe with
Swap again.
Again, come on, darling. We'll have a break when we get to the woods. Yeah. Just gotta get through this thing.
I didn't think I really liked Ferrari, but yeah.
Too many people here.
Yeah, but we got here early.
Smart of you. He's got wine sitting on everything. You're the centre.
Seen all these cars up here this morning with no people around. I don't know if I want to go back in there and fight them all again. We've seen them all. Gonna put this on my chest. Hang on. I think the crowd will be like this all day. If you want to go back into the original part of the VOD, you'll see all these cars without the people around.
This orange car, okay?
And here I thought I was going to hang around for hours, but I think I can fight that crowd. Could do one more loop. But then there'll still be that many people there. But you've seen all the cars come through anyway. And I tried to show, I had the selfie stick right out. $1 million cars and $1 million houses. This might be the easier way to get out. Use the ferry.com. It's pretty windy too. They're watching, you could still subscribe if you haven't. Be great. I won't ask you again. I was watching a YouTube video this morning about subscribers don't really matter anymore with the new AI, because you go and look in your analytics and you can click like who's watching, what percentage of your subscribers are watching and what percentage are not subscribers. Mine was 13% subscribers and 83% not. And they keep saying you could be one video away from a big one. Going viral again. Already been viral once. Viral on a YouTube stream. It's a motorbike we can hear. Can't believe how many people are here. That was like fighting cattle. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for the subscriber, or thanks for the donator. WR360, I might see you at all 4 day tomorrow. I'll be out at Willowbank for all 4 day. Gotta walk 2 k's up there to get to a car. There's no point really in me going back around again, so I just have to put you on a selfie stick and stick you 10 miles up in the air. So if there's anyone who wants to see any more cars, just rewind the vlog and watch that. I do appreciate you all tuning in. Also, I'll come back to this one next year. I have to plan a little bit better for it. And nobody can get a car park either. And my knee's almost giving out too. I'll be live later today. 4 p.m. at Joe's Diner in Eagle Farm, there could be quite a few hundred motorbikes rocking up. 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Still heaps of people rocking in here, so it's not going to get any less people. It's a nice Mustang. Speaking of Fords, I think I got a fair few good shots. And for the amount of people that were there, it's a Porsche for sale. No phone number.
Go.
It was like this morning, I'm walking in. I was lucky to get the car space I got.
Yeah, that one is.
Yeah, more than sardines, mate. My cans are bulging. I don't think I've been to a car event where I've seen so many people before. I didn't even know it was on until this year. The wind too is not very good. So I've got time to read chat now. That's where before I didn't. Traffic's probably going to be like hell to get out too. All it is this afternoon is all the cars driving out. It's not much different to them driving in. So I don't really see any point of staying around for another 6 hours just for that. It's where I can be back in Brisbane and doing the other live event. What I should do is, I'll make it public now. Give me a second. I had it on list in case I didn't make it. Project Moto, Volume 2. Unlisted. Public. Well, that should be public now. That's for 4 p.m. this afternoon. And usually there's a lot of motorbikes that rock up at Joe's Diner. I'll leave his on in the car until the signals, or until we don't get no signal.
Like it'll be minus overnight.
I have a stream this way before back to Brisbane, so I'm not sure whether it's got signal just for a phone. I left the live view in the cupboard at home. Live view is really for only expensive cameras. So you get better signal quality with them because you're bonding multiple SIM cards. Oh, there's a new app coming out. I won't say the name of it yet. I'm not sure if it's out yet. But you can actually bond multiple. I don't think it's like unlimited numbers of phones and stuff onto it through this one streaming app. And knee gave out. Jeez, that wind's bad. Some hot looking women down here too. I think they're hotter than the Gold Coast ones. Oh, my knee's giving out very so often. Keeps clicking like it's hitting a nerve or something. I'll be alright once I get back in the car. I'll rest for a while. From standing in one place for too long or walking too far and doing that on the same time. Oh. Might have another kilometre to go to the car, roughly. Pull over this guy. Bad boys. He's getting booked by the coppers. Going to yell at you live on YouTube.
Yeah, and it's not that off.
Yeah, there's all connections. Right.
Got to cross over a bridge and then I'm not too far from that. Thanks everybody once again for tuning in. Just hit in the car, ran up the arse. Found his Mercedes-Benz badge.
Yeah, well, I didn't start it.
I think I got that on camera. Motorbike doing a wheelie. Choose the game, doing it around the cops around. I think I've got to come back this way. I'll have a look on the maps and see if I can go a different way. He's not getting any better. There's the bridge. I'm not too far from the bridge. A few hundred more metres from the bridge, I think. Glad I didn't catch public transport. Still tons of people rocking down to this place. Could maybe 10,000 more people come up. They're still streaming in. Good luck at getting a view. Anybody just joining now, go back to the beginning of the VOD, you'll see all the cars. Skyline. Villas with boat moorings. And it's not a cheap place to live, this one. They reckon the Gold Coast, it's just similar to the Gold Coast, or up the Sunshine Coast, it's up north past Brisbane, like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. That's what I was saying, Gold Coast is, property prices are pretty much equal to what Sydney was. So I hate to think what this place is like. It looks more classier than the Gold Coast. A fellow in chat reckons they can't, the people that live on the Gold Coast retire up here. It's worse in the open area. I can see my car now. Thank God it's in the shade too.
You want to go in the bus?
One thing I've noticed here, all these small parks don't have toilets. I'll sit you in the car on the mount. I'll just get my other stuff ready to go. Gotta look up my Google map. This is where you get to see behind the scenes. Got this on the wrong one. No, it's the wrong way. Why is it sticking?
Looking in your eyes, the best thing.
Stop it, Barry. We're going to Linton's tonight.
Time for Bev and Barry to store their stuff and go travelling.
Hold on tight, Barry.
Stuff it, live more. Search Storage King today.
Yes, the great Dean Martin. How good is it? Now, Mark, you've called in. I want to hear what you've got to say. What would you like to tell us, Mark?
Hey, Trent, mate. I'm third generation Labor. I was an ex-union official.
Yep.
And I was taught as a kid growing up in the country with my grandmother and my grandfather, you work for what you want. You're not going to get handouts. But we get taxed on our money we earn. My youngest daughter, when she finished uni, started work and said, now I know why you complain. You save money, you get taxed on the money you save in the bank. She couldn't believe it. She'd gone to school, we put her through uni, and she started work, and she goes, my goodness, now I know when you used to work overtime on the building site, on the Eastern Distributor, mind you, I never used to put my overtime in a lot of the time and ask the boss, can I have time in lieu, because I'd lose it in tax anyway.
Yeah, and mate, that's before, and I've had the Prime Minister and the Treasurer get to our super, which they've described as a national asset or mine. That's before they get to that.
Mate, that's exactly right. As I said, you do everything. You teach your kids to grow up to save their pennies, like I was taught in a little country town where
200 metres, at the roundabout, continue straight onto Weber Road.
Anyway, I can't really read chat while I'm driving.
In 300 metres, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Reef Street.
Absolutely not. And I think that's the difference, Mark. Thank you for your call. I think that's the difference, how the system used to work. Absolutely. George has called in. Let's take his call. George, hello.
Okay, just a couple of things. Number one, I want to defend you about that other guy that called you a goose. Obviously, this guy's got a dull bludger or some sort of idiot.
I have fun with it, mate. I love it.
I know, but it's not right because they're obviously stupid and they're obviously imbeciles. There's plenty of imbeciles in this country.
That's true.
But just on the skills of this country and the labour force, and especially the building industry, we struggle in the building industry to try and find young men, leaving young women out of it because a lot of young women are joining the force and they're really hard workers. The young men are lazy. Now, they're super, super lazy. They don't care about working hard.
Exit the roundabout onto Reef Street.
But we're bringing in migrants from South America who are fabulous workers. And
Continue on Reef Street for 1 kilometre.
They are responsible, but they make it so hard for them to stay here because they put them on student visas.
Not only bringing in they're the ones that are going on the unemployment.
The maximum that they work if they're on a student visa. They're either on a working visa, they're only here for a year or two. It's so difficult for these guys to want to work here. And I love these guys because I want more of them. But you can't keep them because they're in this vicious circle of a system that is broken, that doesn't work.
Yeah, and bringing in George, thank you for your call. I've got to get to a break, but bringing in to the point that George is making, and keeping the wrong kinds of immigrants. Like we talked about what's happening with skilled immigrants and how the majority...
In 400 metres, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Eni Creek Road.
Immigrants coming with skills that we can't keep. Doesn't make any sense at all. It's 23 minutes to midday. We'll take a break and be right back.
When you need someone in your corner, count on 4BC Breakfast with Jason Matthews.
I'm 84 years old. I've been renting a house. I have an autistic son that I look after. I had a phone call from a young lady said you have to move out. I have nowhere to go.
When you need us, we're here.
He said we're going to offer you the tenancy for as long as you need it. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me.
For Brisbane, for you. Breakfast with Jason Matthews. Weekdays from 5:30 on 4BC.
The Renault Bastille Day sale is on now. Get $2,000 cash back on MY25 Duster demonstrator vehicles at participating Renault dealers. Ends July 19 while stocks last. T's and C's and exclusions at Renault.com.au.
The Target end-of-season clearance is now on. Save up to 50% off selected women's, men's and kids' clearance apparel. While stocks last, prices as marked, T's and C's apply. Shop in-store or online. That's right on Target.
West Point Hyundai presents the award-winning Hyundai Santa Fe family SUV from just $59,990 drive away with an incredible 2.9...
Exit the roundabout onto Eni Creek Road.
Starry load hybrid increased.
Continue on State Route 6 for 2 kilometres.
With a 2.99% comparison rate, a win-win for family and business. Visit West Point Hyundai today before these offers drop. To ABN applicants only.
Oh no, the power's out.
Oh no, the hot water's gone.
Do both. Just one call and you'll have reliable quality tradies on your door to fix your plumbing, electrical and hot water. For 24/7 same-day service and 35 years of expertise, call O'Brien Electrical and Plumbing, Coopers Plains. 32 777 345. Electrical licence 84362 QBCC 102782.
Find a new scent to match your winter wardrobe at Chemist Warehouse. Keep it frosty with Silver Scent Intense 100ml EDT for just $29.99. Or warm up with notes of amber and spice in Latafra Assad 100ml EDP for $49.99. Heading out tonight? Get the Woody Hugo Boss Bottled Night 100ml EDT now 60.
In 600 metres, at the roundabout, take the first exit onto Walter Hay Drive.
$79.99. Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day.
Audio advertising is more powerful than you think. Like you, almost a third of Australians stream their favourite radio stations. And the fact that you're listening right now, on your phone, in Brisbane, on a sunny morning, proves just how tailored audio can grab your attention and boost campaign effectiveness. For advertising with that kind of power, start with commercial radio and audio.
In 300 metres, at the roundabout, take the second exit and stay on Walter Hay Drive.
Every goal and every decisive moment is shaped by precision, measured down to the second. This same commitment to precision lies at the very core of the Bulliver brand. For over 150 years, Bulliver has led the watch industry, continuously transforming how
Exit the roundabout onto Walter Hay Drive.
performance.
In 400 metres, at the roundabout, take the first exit and stay on Walter Hay Drive.
Like you, almost a third of Australians stream their favourite radio stations. And the fact that you're listening right now, on your phone, in Brisbane, on advertising with that kind of power.
Regular segment. She joins me on the line. Hello, Alice.
White weekend in winter came in at 75% 12 months ago, so just a complete contrast to that. Brisbane last week.
It would appear that certainly from the real estate agents that I speak, shopping centre that I know, simple economics, isn't it?
Yeah, the past few months have really plummeted, and that's because we have had so much supply on the market off the back of very strong southerly direction.
Exit the roundabout onto Emu Mountain Road.
Which has meant that clearance rate just...
Continue on Emu Mountain Road for 1 kilometre.
But I think it's going to be interesting in the months ahead, particularly coming off the back of, at least sort of at the moment, stabilised somewhat. The past couple of weeks, they haven't edged as what we did see the month prior. So I'm just dying with anticipation to see what happens in the next month, because that's going to be really crucial, because if we're not seeing sellers to be realistic, much movement at all.
And just before we move on, Saturday today, how many auctions in Sydney and Brisbane?
Well, look, despite all that, Sydney's still got 448 auctions today. Brisbane's got 97. So these kind of are average conditions. So we're still not seeing as many sellers pull back as what we may have expected to see. Now, of course, some of them will be forced to sell. Many people are just in that buying. It might not necessarily be a distressed sale. We hope we don't see too many of them. Relatively decent levels of supply, and I mean, the thing is, if you are a buyer and you've got those conditions right, it is actually sort of prime conditions. But of course, many people, it's that affordability thing that's going to hold them back, given the interest rate environment we're at the moment.
I'd like your feedback on the KPMG data that we saw this week that found Sydney's home ownership rates have fallen to their lowest level since the 1950s. I guess that's probably not surprising, but how do you see that?
Look, I think it's a really stark statistic, because basically, you know, I think we all hope that we're leaving our country and our kids and our sort of world in a better place than when we all came into it. But essentially, home ownership, sort of the backbone of Australia's life and ideally our quality of life, is now back to what it was in the 1950s in Sydney, and it's the lowest it's been since 1954. Now, the really important part about that for me is how much that ends up sort of affecting and shifting demographics. That you know, numbers like that stop people from potentially marriage or partnering up with someone, having kids at the right time, and that obviously affects our population in a really profound way. But essentially, it's because we've seen Sydney's median house price just completely obliterate all other states in the country and all other price records to date. You know, in 2011, Sydney's median house price hit around $650,000, and from there on in, we have been on a very, very steep upward trajectory to think we're almost at $1.8 million today. So it's Sydney really dragging the country back in that home ownership. We are actually seeing it edge forward a little bit in Brisbane, which is interesting, isn't it, knowing how much Brisbane house prices have risen. But I think that's because up until the past couple of years, Brisbane has been a really affordable market, but it is increasingly now hot on Sydney's heels. So I think it's just a really important point to remember when we're all very concerned about changes to negative gearing, capital gains tax and whatnot, that idea of ownership that many of us have enjoyed for a long period of time is something that I think most of us hope
have caught your eye this week. I had to look correctly in Kensington, 16 bedrooms.
Four bathrooms rather. So because if you're running like a house with 16 bedrooms, only 4 bathrooms might not seem the right sort of ratio there, but there's an opportunity there because this is placed like from a bygone era. If you feel like having a sort of Bridgerton, Downton Abbey type moment in your life, this could be it. And it's got that beautiful big circular driveway, those sort of dual entrance ways, which I always think you'd have no trouble arguing about who's parked someone in a place like that. And the site's interesting. So it's sort of quite that lovely Art Deco site, and it comes with sort of accompanying tennis courts and pool that are used by the building also. But it's an incredible building, and it also has the old boardroom in it and the original vaults that they would store the art in. But it was actually originally a British tobacco manufacturing house of W.D. and H.O. Wills. So an amazing historical building built in 1926 on what is arguably a huge parcel of land in beautiful Kensington. On over 2,500 square metres the land parcel is, but just something out of another era compared to what we're seeing today in property.
And speaking of something that we're seeing today, the one that you're focusing on up in Sanctuary Cove, what an amazing property that one is.
This is incredible. It's an Anchorage terrace. Now it's the house of the late Eric John, of course, the Queensland car dealer, property developer known as Big John. Now he and his late wife paid $12 million for this property back in 2012. It's now on the market. If it cracks that $35 million market, we'll set a new price record. But it's basically on nearly 3,000 square metres. It has this incredible piano lounge, cinema, guest house, and just as only the Gold Coast can do, those beautiful pools with that deep water frontage, deep water mooring for boats, as I'm sure many people up there have the luxury of enjoying, with a private pontoon. And it's like something out of Dynasty or something. It's an exceptional property, and it's so sort of quintessentially Queensland, shall we say, in a very luxurious, serious way.
That's one to dream about. Thank you so much, Alice.
Speak to you next week, guys. Bye.
That's Alice Stoltz. Domain.com.au to check any of these out and have a look at those two that we mentioned. They're absolutely stunning. By now, when the assumption is that prices are falling, they'd assume that they could buy for less in the future. Really good point there, Irene, as well. We will take a break.
Any show you miss on the app or on...
In 600 metres at the roundabout...
2 bottles, even more useful. Your first 2 bottles of...
Monday Noosa Road. Continue on State Route 12 for 1 kilometre.
Audio advertising is more powerful than you think. Like you, almost a third of Australians stream their favourite radio stations. And the fact that you're listening right now
has what you need to get
Stores Australia live.
Exit the roundabout onto Memorial Drive, then use any lane to turn slightly left onto the Bruce Highway Slip Road.
It starts with a my secret recipe could be something stage.
Use any lane to turn slightly left onto the Bruce Highway Slip Road.
The warehouse stage, which lands you at the time to go global stage. Then back.
Continue for 1 kilometre.
Stage. No. T's and C's, fees, charges, eligibility and lending criteria.
In 600 metres, merge onto
event of the year. Arthur Miller's August 28. This 5-star, once-in-a-generation production stars Emmy, Golden Globe and Tony Award winner Anthony LaPaglia and Helpman and Logie winner Alison White. A QPAX lyric theatre for a...
Continue on M1 for 95 kilometres.
audio advertising is more powerful than you think. Like you.
My understanding of economic logic. It's just after 5
o'clock Monday morning here on 4BC. Join Gary Hargrave for more.
imagine morning walks in the parklands or rooftop barbecues with friends, knowing everything is taken care of.
I can't see because the phone's not there.
With the Play for Purpose charity
Can't touch
raffle,
it while I'm
there's
driving.
over 400 good causes to support with your ticket and hundreds of prizes to be won. Available at The Lot. T's and C's apply. Licence 158466.
A full bottle of LPG? That's useful. 2 bottles? Even more useful. Your first 2 bottles of LPG for $79 each with delivery from Origin? That's all kinds of useful. Sign up by 30 September only in selected areas. Equipment fee and T's and C's apply.
You want, not when help is available. The Bed Easy Mattress Lifter is designed to lift your mattress for you, giving you more independence. No more bending and trying to lift the corner of a mattress. Bed Easy will lift your mattress on your bed, so you have both hands free to change the sheets. Just a press of a button and the lifting is done. Life's hard. Changing sheets doesn't have to be. Order direct at bedeasy.com.au.
Finally, a CPAP machine with premium features and a budget price tag. Introducing the new iBreeze Gen 2 Auto CPAP machine. It's quieter, more natural to breathe on, and is backed by a 6-year warranty. Get it now from CPAP Direct for under $1,200 and we'll throw in a free mask of your choice. If you've been diagnosed with sleep apnea but haven't done anything about it, now's the time to get your mojo back. Affordable payment plans also available. Find your nearest CPAP Direct at cpap.com.au.
You're listening to 4BC Weekends.
'After next, Ian, so he's all good. Now, don't forget, for our quiz, we're giving you the chance to win a double pass to Velvet Inferno at the Sydney Opera House. Stars Marsha Hines, a 70-minute non-stop disco spectacular. It runs from the 24th of July to the 13th of September. Book now at sydneyoperahouse.com. Quiz question 1, what was the official name of the new office that the Prime Minister launched in regard to AI? Question 2, who is Argentina playing in the World Cup final on Monday morning our time? And then question 3, which native flower is the official floral emblem of New South Wales? Question 3, which native flower is the official floral emblem of New South Wales? Midday News is next in the... We're going to look at the life of Bon Scott. That'll be a cracker, that one. We'll have time out of the midday news for your calls as well. 131 873 is the open line number. It's Trent Nikolic with you for Luke Grant. 2GB in Sydney, 4BC in Brisbane. Back after the news.
Chermside, Birkdale, Oxley. 4BC is Brisbane.
It's midday. Good afternoon. I'm Sarah Wiedersame. A distillery owner has been...
This owner is facing allegations of selling products harmful to health and operating an illegal business. The penalties for which range from 3 months to 4 years in prison and a fine. 19-year-olds Bianca Jones and Holly Morton Bowles were among the group who died of methanol poisoning. Bianca's mother, Michelle, has described the charges as a kick in the guts.
Can't believe.
Around the lack of transparency in its justice system. Chris McCarthy reporting.
The federal government has delivered its response to recommendations handed down by the Special Envoy to Combat Islamophobia. Aftab Malik's final report was published in September last year, tabling 54 measures to stamp out anti-Islamic behaviour. Labor says it will or is already adopting 35, aiming to improve community safety through practical measures. Australia's fuel reserves have reached their highest level since stockholding laws were introduced. New figures show the nation now holds more than 6.5 billion litres of fuel, with petrol reserves up to 46 days, diesel at 39 and jet fuel at 34. Supply lines also remain active, with 47 ships arriving this month and another 55 en route to Australia. A baby whale has died after washing ashore on a Sydney beach, triggering precautionary testing for the deadly H5 bird flu. While the species is considered low risk for the virus, experts say we shouldn't be taking any chances given bird flu's impact on marine life overseas. Construction representatives are calling for the establishment of an independent regulator to crack down on sector corruption. The latest demand is also part of ongoing calls for a royal commission into alleged misconduct by unions on building sites in Victoria. Master Builders Australia Chief Executive Danita Warren says placing the CFMEU into administration was a positive step, but more needs to be done.
We need this regulator up and running as quickly as possible to hold all parties to account in the building and construction industry so we don't see yet again history repeating itself.
Also making news, Andy Burnham has been announced as the UK's new Labor leader. He's expected to become the country's 7th Prime Minister in the past decade on Monday. And Oscar winner actress Brenda Fricker has died aged 81. In finance, $1 Australian is buying around 69 US cents.
Finance on 4BC brought to you by RedZ. Loans for the self-employed, because pay slips don't tell the full story. One trick, great trick though, redz.com.
The Swans have suffered their first home loss of the AFL season, falling to the Crows 87 points to 71 at the SCG. Sydney's now lost its past 3 matches against top 6 sides, with major deficits to Brisbane and Fremantle. Coach Dean Cox says they need to get their weaknesses under control.
So whether it's how we connect with our mids, the areas we do, some of the setup stuff we need to look at when we're at our best, when we're not, how do we nullify.
In NRL action, the Roosters took down the Storm 14-6, while the Sharks held on for a 2-point win over the Knights 20-18. The Raiders take on the Roosters in the Women's League this hour. Aussie golfer Lucas Herbert leads the Open Championship after hitting 62 in round 2. He's 2 shots ahead of American Jackson Zuber. It's 12:04. That's the latest news in sport.
The home loan, the car loan, the personal loan. When it's time to compare and find the loan that's right for you, visit therate.com.au.
Have you ever wondered why we play music and show photos at funerals? It's a ritual which dates back well over 100 years and is meant to us. They're sad, but they're special to you, so they matter. It's all part of the service Alex Gow Funerals provide that helps create a more meaningful funeral ceremony.
Alex Gow Funerals, family funeral care since 1840.
Traffic, almost at your destination? Got to get on with your day. Catch up on any show you miss on the app or online at 4BC.
Stuck on the motorway, and we're sitting on the shoulder near exit 15. He's facing southbound towards 8 Mile Plains. If you're heading that way, please take care going around him. Logan Motorway steady both ways between Logan Home and Forest Lake with no accidents or breakdowns. Centenary Highway now building northbound from Darra up to Jindalee, and up north on the M1 you'll find yourself on the brake citybound between Deception Bay Road and Anzac Avenue. I'm Dennis Lee on Brisbane's 4BC.
Keep it clean and running like a dream with F10 fuel treatment. Whether it's cars, trucks, earth-moving machinery, boats or bikes, petrol or diesel, no matter what you drive, F10 makes engines run smoother and more efficiently, cleans and protects injectors and pumps, and extends the life of your engine. F10 removes water, wax, varnishes and diesel bug contamination. F10 fuel treatment, available at Auto One, Atom, Blackwoods, Bursons and Repco stores.
Harvey Norman 10% in bonus gift cards. This weekend only. Get 10% of your purchase price in Harvey Norman gift cards when you spend $500 or more on selected products. Bonus gift card can be used towards the purchase of TVs and audio, cooking and home appliances, mobiles and computers, mattresses, furniture, flooring and much more. Best brands, best range, best prices and 10% in bonus gift cards this weekend only at Harvey Norman. Do not miss out. Terms, conditions.
Showers Monday and 23. A possible shower Tuesday, a top of 23 degrees. Partly cloudy and 23. Possible shower Tuesday, a top of 23 degrees. Partly cloudy and 23 Wednesday. On Moreton Bay, there is a strong wind warning. Winds southerly at 15 to 25 knots, reaching up to 30 knots. Seas 1 to 1.5 metres.
Not just because I love their music and I love their link to Australia, but we're going to look at the life of Bon Scott, AC/DC legend and one of the most charismatic. Steve makes a good point here to your messages. 0460873873 is the text line. According to the last news, we've increased our fuel reserves. Then why am I paying more than $2 a litre for diesel in Dubbo? Steve, we're paying that in Sydney as well, mate. Very good question. Very good question. A good one here from Colin. Hi, Trent. Gee, what a surprise that Albo et al. Are going to quickly adopt most of the points highlighted by the Islamophobia envoy. Pity he isn't so quick when it comes to anti-Semitism. That's from Cole. You'll remember, Cole, I was on air after the atrocity in Bondi, and I thought the Prime Minister was disgraceful, lacking in leadership, lacking in courage, and lacking in the ability to read what the Australian public wanted him and his party to do, when he said repeatedly that we didn't need a royal commission into what happened in Bondi. I then told you that what would make him decide that we did need a royal commission into Bondi was not common decency or an understanding of what Australians were expecting, but rather pressure internally from his own party, and that's absolutely what happened. So it's no surprise to me at all, or I would have thought to the Jewish community. I've spoken to plenty of them on air over the last few months that this is the result that we have. Jane says, I don't think that they should only be looking at anti-Muslim sentiment or Islamophobia. What about all the rest of the religions that are being discriminated against? That's a good point. If you're going to look into one, why not all? Joe says, I'm not really sure why there's a review on Islamophobia to coincide together with anti-Semitism Royal Commission. Is this the Labor government hedging their bets and making sure they don't upset the Muslim vote? It's absolutely ridiculous. Well, you could easily ask that question. You could easily ask that question. Ash says, you know, if you sack bureaucrats and reduce migration significantly, the formula's there. Leith summed it up before in the Ministry of Common Sense discussion that we have, or Institute of Common Sense. Yeah, that's a good point as well. And as I said, I'll say again what I said before, that we should cut spending in a whole range of areas in order to get that under control and then work out what we're going to be doing. Robin is saying what a lot of people are saying, which is it doesn't matter which government gets in next. Policies don't change from previous governments. It's always been like this. Well, that's the issue. We've got to reverse what is going on now in order to get a handle on it. A message here from Vincent saying, you keep on asking for supporting evidence on various matters, including the economy. Fair enough. However, you keep on making statements regarding Tommy Robinson, describing him as a lunatic, far-right extremist, etc., etc. Where is your evidence supporting those extreme statements? Vincent, I mentioned, this is the problem that some of you have. I mentioned Tommy Robinson once earlier in the show, and I said I don't think it was a good look for Pauline Hanson to be on his podcast, is what I said. I didn't say anything else. I haven't called him a lunatic, didn't call him a far-right extremist, didn't say any of those things. My opinion on him is not even relevant here. I just said I don't think that Pauline Hanson needed to go on his podcast. Why? What she need to go on his podcast for? She's putting herself forward as a potential leader of this country. We hammered the Prime Minister for going on that stupid podcast and talking about Kylie Minogue and the leader of Japan and the stupid stuff that he said. We hammered him. I hammered him mercilessly. So if we're saying the Prime Minister didn't need to go on a podcast, why did Pauline Hanson? It's just dumb. If you're putting yourself forward as a serious leader of a serious country, and I've said this before, that has serious problems to solve. We've got issues here now, multiple, with the economy and everything, that I don't think the Prime Minister, and we're worried about people who are putting themselves forward as leaders going on podcasts that they don't need to be on. The other thing too is that podcast that you're referring to there, Vincent, has nothing to do with Australia. Nothing. It's broadcast in another country. Who cares? Get back over here. I've spoken to Pauline Hanson on air and she always makes herself available. Get back here and keep doing that. A few of you have said the election's 2 years away, the election's 18 months away. She's going to peak too early if she starts campaigning now. No to all of those things. She should be campaigning from now, in the run-up to the election, full-time here in Australia, speaking to the Australian people at all times about the issues that she sees as fix them. The same way the Liberal Party needs to do that. Not worrying about appearing on podcasts in other countries with hosts that have got nothing. As far as I'm aware, I can't recall any incidents that would have led up to that. That's another point as well. That's another point. It's just ridiculous that we are having this particular recommendation from that envoy and all of these things listed. Look, if we've got 50 odd listings and we're doing 30 of them, which you could say the government's doing as a box ticking exercise, let's see what happens with the Royal Commission into anti-Semitism, and then what we take on after that, because there'll want to be a whole hell of a lot of those that we take on. Now, on a lighter note, in a minute we're going to be talking to the great man Craig Bennett, well, in a few minutes, for our Starstruck segment, on Bon Scott, which, you know, is the formulative member of a band that has gone on to become legendary around the world. And you'll recall that in 1980, after Bon Scott had passed away, way too young it must be said, the band put together the album Back in Black, which was effectively, I guess, a respectful move for the previous frontman, with the new frontman, Brian Johnson, on lead vocals. The entire album was and respect, and I think all time, and this is the title track off that album. Have a listen to this. Craig Bennett. I didn't say that anybody should try to be like Bon Scott at all. We've got a lot of your feedback here. Heather saying, what's that terrible noise? That terrible noise, Heather, is one of the greatest rock bands of all time. Steve loves it, bringing Rocktober to 2GB in July. Sue, seriously, I'm 61 and a bogan dancing. I love AC/DC. You're not a bogan at all, Sue. What a screech. Horrors. Radio off, says Jenny in Campbelltown. That's a shame, Jenny. Clearly you don't appreciate great music. Second highest selling album of all time. That indicates quite a lot of people do like it. It's 19 and a half past 12. I'll tell you what, let's take a break. Trent Nikolic with you for Luke Grant. And when we come back, we're going to look at the life of Bon Scott. But Jeff, critically for you, we are not going to refer to him as a role model. We'll be right back after this.
Woolies online super sale on now. Skip delivery fees with a Delivery Unlimited annual plan and get 3 months free. New subscribers only. Ends July 29. T's and C's apply.
At Newmarket, the earliest smash on Anogra Road has now been cleared. All city-bound lanes are now open. At the Gabba, though, we've got a vehicle broken down and stuck on the motorway. Now, we're sitting on the shoulder near exit 15. He's facing southbound towards 8 Mile Plains. If you're heading that way, please take care going around him. Logan motorway steady both ways between Logan Home and Forest Lake with no accidents or breakdowns. Centenary Highway now building northbound from Darra up to Jubilee. And up north on the M1, you'll find yourself on the brake city-bound between Deception Bay Road and Anzac Avenue. I'm Dennis Lee on Brisbane's 4BC.
The Target end of season clearance is now on. Save up to 50%.
Cards this weekend only. Get 10% of your purchase price in Harvey Norman gift cards when you spend $500 or more on selected products. Bonus gift card can be used towards the purchase of TVs, audio, cooking and home appliances, mobiles and computers, mattresses, furniture, flooring and much more. Best brands, best range, best prices and 10% in bonus gift cards this weekend only at Harvey Norman. Do not miss out. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. Gift card valid for 1 month. License number 65776 and AU 13164.
Close to the speaker, mate. Move in close to the speaker so you can hear this. Because Ian has said, Back in Black was written after Bond's death, so has only been sung by Brian Johnson. Ian, I said in the intro to playing the song that following the untimely death of Bon Scott, the band released Back in Black as a tribute to Bon Scott, who was dead. So consequently, Ian, he could never have sung Back in Black because he was brown bread, wasn't he? He was dead. I said that. I don't actually know what you're listening to, mate. I really don't. Now, a quick one here from Carolyn before we get to Craig Bennett, because I think this does make a really interesting point. She says, why do we say Islamophobia? A phobia is a fear of something. I have a fear of flying. I don't fear Muslims. No, neither do I. I don't think anybody does generally. I don't understand the Prime Minister constantly defending and elevating them, though. What about the Jewish community? Why doesn't he or his pals protect and support them double standards? I'll keep repeating it, Carolyn. We're having a royal commission into anti-Semitism that the Prime Minister repeatedly said we didn't need.
There's a mobile speed camera reported ahead.
On Bondi Beach. That's all you need to know right there. In the meantime, it's time for this.
Grab the smelling salts, industrial strength if you have them, and don't forget the pickle juice, because it's time for Starstruck with Craig Bennett.
It's that time of the day when you need to sit down with a cuppa, perhaps a glass of cooking sherry, or even if you're willing, a glass of pickle juice. You know it's past and present. Today we'll be diving into the life of AC/DC legend Bon Scott.
Bad ones for YouTube to get your stream copywritten struck.
But you know what the heck?
91, I think, at the Entertainment Centre in Sydney, which was, I think it was the loudest concert I've ever been to. Loudest concert I've ever been to.
Yes, I know. The decibel level, I think, is well and truly off the radar. It breaks all Guinness Book of Records, I'm sure. But, you know, you think about AC/DC, Bon Scott, as we're talking about today, an absolute legend. He'd have turned 80 last week, and to celebrate, there was a huge Bon Scott tribute night in New York with all sorts of people taking part. Of course, in Scotland, where he was born, you mentioned, there is the annual Bon Fest. And you go back to 1980 when he passed away. His death really did shock and stun his fans and the music world. I look back at some of the newspaper headlines today when I was having a look over his life to remind me what it was all about. But, you know, it didn't shock those who knew him well, Trent, and, of course, his family. Only 33 when he died in London. I've got to say, in grim circumstances, in a friend's car, as he tried to sleep off this massive booze bender. I'll detail that shortly. But I say his passing was no great surprise to his family and those very close to him and some bandmates because, look, he was wild. His boozing and drug taking out of control, especially when he got bored. And it was interesting because his younger brother, Derek, who doesn't grant many interviews, but was talking about this the other day in Rolling Stone magazine as an homage to Bon Scott, who would have celebrated his 80th birthday. He reckons when Bon got bored, which he easily did, that's where he'd go absolutely haywire. Couldn't sit still for a moment, and that's essentially the root of his problem. But look, in life he remains remembered and very much adored as this massively talented singer-songwriter for what is Australia's biggest band, AC/DC, which he joined back in 1974, 10 months after they started up. He replaced the original lead singer, who was Dave Evans. Many says it was Bon who propelled the band to this massive international success. Much of it to do with his charisma, the swagger, the wicked wit, the tight pants. He was off that he gave to Molly Meldrum, and I got to say, you know, Molly's incessant questioning and not letting him finish and all of that.
It's actually quite funny in hindsight, isn't it?
Oh, look, it is, because Bon just navigates all of that with such a charm and such a prowess, and you just, in his mind, he'd be thinking, what is... when he'd knock on their doors and, you know, they'd be trying to be nice and polite and thinking, who is this? But, I mean, anyway, you know, that was Bon and that was Molly. We love Molly and you know, we absolutely love Bon, who became this king of Aussie rock larrikins, you know, famed. But bands love that casual, no-ego approach to his fame. High Voltage was AC/DC's first album. That was out in 1975. He co-wrote an array of songs with Akadaka's founders, Malcolm and Angus Young. You just heard from them there, Long Way to the Top, TNT, Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap, Highway to Hell. He recorded 6 albums with the group prior to his death, and their Highway to Hell album, which came out in 79, was the band's international breakthrough. It cemented their fame in the UK, but really importantly in the US. Of course, in Australia, we'd loved his very first performance, which was with the band, which was back in October of 1974, and it was at the Bright Sands Masonic Club in Sydney. And I wonder, Trent, how many listeners listening to us right now may have actually been there then and heard Bon Scott for the very first time with AC/DC strut his stuff. They went on to become one of the biggest selling bands in the world with record sales, cop this, in excess of 200 million albums. He was the ultimate rock and roller. I mean, beyond the excesses of the boozing and the drugs, he relished in cavorting with the groupies who relished in cavorting with him. When he was 16, and I'll detail this, that was 1962, thrown into juvenile detention in Perth for carnal knowledge with a 15-year-old girl. It was while he was incarcerated that he started up a band, playing the drums and guitar. He was married once, and apparently had at least 2 out-of-wedlock kids, both of whom were born at the same time in the same hospital to women who didn't know one another. That's a doozy of a story, should it be true. The AC/DC, one of their managers, tells the story in a book that he wrote a couple of years ago. Look, there was this near-fatal motorcycle accident in Adelaide. To think it all began when he started singing in the shower as a kid in Scotland. You'll need probably more than pickle juice, smelling salts, cooking sherry, and heavens knows whatever else for Bon Scott to have lived his life any other way, frankly.
Just before we take a break, Craig, you mentioned Bon Scott there, tight. You and I are doing it, doesn't it, really?
Oh, well, I mean, of course, I can see you now through my crystal ball.
It's not good, is
and
it?
I can see that you're shirtless. and tight
pants
I
on
can
it.
see you're a legend, too.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's just after 12:30. We'll take a break and we'll be right back with Craig Bennett.
The continuous call team.
Let's go to Shell Harbour now. G'day, Linda.
Just smelling that baby synthetic, I love it.
Yes. Are you a grandmother?
Yep.
Do you sniff your grandchild's neck regularly?
Absolutely, I do.
Me too.
Oh, I love you, Mark.
No, me too with my grandkids.
The continuous call team, celebrating 40 years. Thanks to McDonald's, Bryden's Lawyers, Ducks Hot Water, PointsBet, and Forex. This weekend on 4BC.
You left a bit.
Meet Louise.
Hi. Yeah, there.
Her new lounge had coincided with replacing something else she'd been putting up with for years.
My savings account. I didn't realise how outdated it was.
But since opening her new game-changing Macquarie savings account, Louise's savings are finally earning great rates with no hoops or catches.
Too easy.
And sign here.
Oh, yeah, sure.
See ya.
Thank you.
Think all savings accounts are the same? Think again. It's time to say...
I bank with Macquarie.
Your savings game changer. Consider it right for you. T's and C's apply.
Harvey Norman 10% in bonus gift cards. This weekend only. Get 10% of your purchase price in Harvey. Bonus gift card can be used towards the ping and much more. Best brands, best range, best prices, and 10% in bonus gift cards this weekend only at Harvey Norman. Do not miss out. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Gift card valid for 1 month.
Running a small business isn't easy. Trust me, managing 2 cafes can keep me awake at night. That's why 4BC Mornings has teamed up with On Deck Australia to give 4 local businesses a $1,000 cash boost. To go into the draw to win, head to the win page now at 4bc.com.au and tell us what a $1,000 boost would do for your nominated business. Jason's Business Boost, thanks to On Deck's unsecured lightning loans for fast-moving small businesses. Visit ondeck.com.au.
Looking for more certainty in your retirement? Consider Host Plus's pension investment option, CPI Plus, designed to deliver consistent returns.
There's a speed camera ahead.
Peace of mind knowing your investment is protected from market swings. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. General advice only. Consider your circumstances and the Host Plus pension PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au before deciding. More certainty from your super in retirement? That's a plus. Search CPI Plus today.
Hi, I'm Jenny from Ben Moves Brisbane, and this is my hubby Ben.
Hi.
We've been moving families and businesses for over 15 years.
And when you need us, we can move you too.
We do it all, big and small jobs, family homes, units, townhouses and offices. Ben Moves Brisbane provides a seamless, stress-free experience without any hidden charges or costly surprises. Whether it's your home, your office or your apartment.
Let our family move yours.
benmovesbrisbane.com.au.
Right at the southern tip of the Redcliffe Peninsula, you'll find the Belvedere Woody Point, the place to be any day of the week. 4 amazing sun-soaked decks with views over the ocean. Breakfast, lunch and dinner is served 7 days a week. There's a playground for the kids and a doggy deck for your furry friend. Trivia every Wednesday night, and our cocktails are served with free sunset views. Your table is waiting now. The Belvedere Hotel, Woody Point.
Born in London. Anyway, that's by the by. Bond's dad was a bagpipe playing baker, and he had a brother Derek and a sister Valerie, both of whom are still alive. Sadly, there was another brother, Sandy, who died shortly after bouncing into the world just days after being born. So Bon was 6 when the family decided whole new start in Australia, somewhere fresh. First of all settling in Melbourne and then moving to Fremantle in WA. Look, he loved music from an early age. He played the drums, would often sing very loudly in the shower, and in fact his singing was inspired by Little Richard, who was his ultimate music idol back then. Look, his brother Derek said that from a young age he'd always been a wild child, always getting into strife, rebellious, always up for any crazy dare. So look, he dropped out of school at 15, worked as a crayfisherman for a while, and then when he was 16, obviously getting up to strife, sent to juvenile detention for almost a year, and it was because, well, a couple of things. He'd had relations with a 15-year-old girl, carnal knowledge as it was called in polite circles back then, and also because he stole gallons of petrol. While in detention, he formed a band with some of the other detainees and played the drums and guitar. And then when he was let out, he wanted to join the army, the Australian Army, but was rejected for being, well, they said, socially maladjusted. So then he got a job as a postman, worked as a bartender for a bit, as a truck packer, later worked in a fertiliser factory shoveling, well, you know, the stuff that makes fertiliser. Long story short, 1964, he forms a band called the Spectors, which then merged with another band called the Valentines, with the now late, very great Vince Lovegrove, who went on to manage the likes of Jimmy Barnes and the Divinals, but Vince back then was a wonderful singer in his own right. Now, Bon moved around as a singer in several bands. In 1972, he married this blonde beauty from Adelaide, Irene Thornton, wasn't that because she left us last year. But back in 2014, for those who love Bon Scott, may not be up on this, she wrote a very revealing book titled My Bon Scott about their brief marriage and why it broke up, which I'll tell you about shortly. Anyway, he and Irene went to the UK as he was singing in a band named Fraternity, many might remember, which broke up when they returned to Australia, but then reformed, and Jimmy Barnes joined the group. It was really a case of revolving doors. Anyway, back in Adelaide with his wife, and working at that fertiliser factory, shoveling the you-know-what, he suffered this near-fatal motorbike accident. So it was 1974, he was 27, he'd had a row with the band, was roaring drunk, left a pub, crashed into a car, his head went through the windscreen, he suffered severe head injuries, smashed his teeth out, was in a coma for 3 days, in hospital for another 18 after that. And his wife Irene wrote in the book that prior to the accident, Bon had, if you can believe it, Trent, this smooth, melodic voice. But then when he recovered, it had changed into this sort of deeper, raspier tone. And of course, that would be the voice that would go on to wow millions the world over as the electrified frontman for AC/DC. So look, it was Vince Lovegrove who introduced Bon to Angus Young and his brother Malcolm. They'd formed AC/DC in 1973. In fact, it was their younger sister, Margaret Young, who came up with the name. She'd seen AC/DC on her sewing machine, and Malcolm and Angus thought this really captured the high voltage nature of their sound. So that's how the name came about. Bon began working as AC/DC's driver, their chauffeur. In the beginning, he'd be driving them to gigs all around the place. But then when they became disenchanted with Dave Evans, the original frontman, Bon said, I could do this, I can sing, I can get around in the tight pants and do all of that and get the motors of the female fans motors going and whatever else. And look, they gave him the chance, and I guess you could say bingo, a star is born. To his private life, total catnip to the ladies, massive boozer, as wild as they came. So in 1971, he's in Adelaide, meets his beautiful lass Irene Thornton at a party. They wed the following year, 72, broke up a couple of years later, but didn't divorce until the late 70s. She claimed in her book that when Bon fell in love with AC/DC and all that was going on there was all consuming, he basically fell out of love with her, though they remained great friends until his death in 1980. She died, as I mentioned, last year. Now, interesting, Michael Browning who once managed AC/DC, wrote a book a couple of years back called Dog Eat Dog.
That's right.
And he claims when he visited Bond in a Melbourne hospital, this was back in 1975, he'd OD'd or there was some issue with drugs. Anyway, he's lying in the bed, and Bond boasted that the last time he was in that particular Melbourne hospital, he'd visited two ladies who were apparently in the hospital at the same time, both due to or having just given birth to Bond's kids. Now, that's according to the manager. Bond said the ladies did not know one another. Look, Trent, is this a true story? I've found no evidence that it is, but who knows?
Yep.
Put it this way, no one's come out saying, you know, they're the illegitimate kids of Bon Scott. So look to the end, and shortly before his death, their Highway to Hell album comes out, as I mentioned, a massive hit. It paves the way for their mega success in the US. Bond and the band had just started working on their Back in Black album. He'd written a couple of songs. So look, he was in London, and it's the date of February 19, 1980 that's significant. He'd been partying heavily at a London club the night before. He passed out in a friend's Renault. One assumes to sleep off the booze. He was he'd thrown up, pronounced dead on arrival at a London alcohol poisoning, and it was deemed death by interred in a rose garden in Fremantle. Fans obviously regularly visit and place empty vodka bottles on his gravestone. In the wake of his death, and at only 33, AC/DC thought of disbanding, but then rethought things and thought, no, let's continue in his honour. The English singer Brian Johnson was hired to take over as frontman. Back in Black came out 5 months after Bond's death. It was sort of an homage to him. It remains the second biggest selling album in pop rock history, second only to Michael Jackson's Thriller. I mean, phenomenal. You consider that this funny little band that started out singing at the Bright La Sands Masonic Club, that's where Bon Scott joined them, you know, and become, that they wound up with the second biggest album, second to Michael Jackson's Thriller, astonishing. Look, they continue to rock and roll. As I mentioned, they toured Australia last year, blasting eardrums all over the country. They are now doing the same thing in American stadiums now, filling them out. And the band, of course, has been a revolving door of members coming and going over the years. Malcolm Young very sadly died in a Sydney nursing home back in 2017 after dealing with dementia. I remember Axl Rose was there for a while. There is talk, Trent, of a Bon Scott movie. It's been in the works for a couple of years.
Make a good story.
Yeah, well, that's right. It was such a short life, only 33 years. The Kid from Harvest Road, it's to be called, with a very fine young actor, Lee Tiger Halley, who you might remember from the TV series of a couple of years back with Brian Brown and Simon Baker and whatever, Boy Swallows Universe, based on Trent Dalton's wonderful best-selling book. Anyway, Lee Tiger Halley is apparently in line to channel Bon Scott, and I say, you consider all of the biopics that are being made and have been made, and you think in those 33 years he crammed into that short life, you know, gosh, you know, other people could fit into 100 years. You know, it was just that high octane, that intense. But what a legacy he leaves behind if you love that style of music.
Absolutely. Thank you, mate. We'll speak to you again next week.
Bye.
See you, mate. That's Craig Bennett. What a story. And a lot of your messages saying exactly what Craig said, that you met him in various places very early in his career, and Bon Scott was nothing other than a gentleman. It's almost 12 minutes to 1. We'll take a break and be right back.
Traffic. Got something you want to say? You're in the right place. This is Brisbane's 4BC. Give us a call on 133 882.
At Newmarket, the earliest smash on Enoggera Road has now been cleared. All city-bound lanes are now open. At the Gabba, though, got a vehicle broken down and stuck on the motorway. Now, we're sitting on the shoulder near exit 15. He's facing southbound towards 8 Mile Plains. If you're heading that way, please take care going around him. Logan Motorway steady both ways between Logan Home and Forest Lake with no accidents or breakdowns. Centenary Highway highway now building northbound from Darra up to Jindalee, and up north on the M1 you'll find yourself on the brake citybound between Deception Bay Road and Anzac Avenue. I'm Dennis Lee, I'm Brisbane's 4BC.
A full bottle of LPG? That's useful. 2 bottles? Even more useful. Your first 2 bottles of LPG for $79 each with delivery from Origin? That's all kinds of useful. Sign up by 30 September, only in selected areas. Equipment fee and T's and C's apply.
The Target end of season clearance is now on. Save up to 50% off selected women's, men's and kids clearance apparel. While stocks last, prices as marked, T's and C's apply. Shop in-store or online. That's right on Target.
ANZ Bank of the Year for Small Business Banking, a record 10 times. So it's no wonder I keep hearing, hey boss, well done for going with ANZ, or you picked a winner, Andy. I mean, no one's actually in it, but I know they're thinking.
Search ANZ Business.
Harvey Norman 10% in bonus gift cards. This weekend only. Get 10% of your purchase price in Harvey. Bonus gift card can be used towards the purchase of TVs and audio, cooking and home appliances, mobiles and computers, mattresses, furniture, flooring and much more. Best brands, best range, best prices and 10% in bonus gift cards this weekend only at Harvey Norman. Do not miss out. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. Gift card valid for 1 month.
Good nutrition is the key to healthy aging. That's why My Choice was created by the dietitians and chefs at Light and Easy. They're perfectly portioned for smaller appetites and packed with flavour and nutrition. And with support at home funding, your plan can cover up to 70% of the cost. Plus, we'll cover your first co-payment, so you'll pay $0 to Light and Easy for your first delivery. No contracts, just more choice, independence and happiness. Call 13 15 12 for more information.
In 800 metres, keep right to continue on Gympie Arterial Road, M3. Follow signs for Brisbane.
For a safer drive this winter, visit tyrepower.com.au.
This is the moment. They're off and racing for 4 spectacular days. Flemington Racecourse.
Keep right to continue on Gympie Arterial Road.
From October 31 to November 7, experience the excitement, the glamour and the roar of the crowd.
Continue on M3 for 4 kilometres.
Unforgettable fashion, entertainment and timeless tradition. Fancy a gallop? Secure your tickets now from $50 at vrc.com.au.
Building, constructing, or lifting, and need a crane. Then you need Lindor's mobile crane.
In 3 kilometres, take the State Route 40, Linkfield Road exit towards Sandgate.
For all kinds of projects in all kinds of industries, large or small, we're on site when you need us, operating with experience, precision and care at Lindor.com.au.
They're outside there actually drawing pictures at the moment. Oh, MG's just drawn a picture of what it looks like from Penrith to the city. It's just a road. Harbour Bridge and the Centre Point Tower. With a big welcome to Sydney
sign. Probably not. I'll go home, have lunch,
Brisbane as well.
have a shower.
There's a speed camera ahead.
Just the preparation we need.
All the time,
yeah, absolutely. To get into some serious talk. Now, you're live from the interactive studio today, so run me through what's on the list for today. So we'll have some score updates on the Raiders and the Rabbitohs. 5:30, I'll call the game between the Warriors and the Dragons.
In 800 metres, take the State Route 40, Linkfield Road exit towards Sandgate.
One of our great supporters and advertisers from Harvey Norman, Katie Page, who's the driving force behind all of that. We'll also check into the West Tigers boss off the back of a big week with Jerome Luai signing that 1-year deal with Parramatta. I want to talk to you about that in a second. I forgot.
Take the State Route 40 exit.
Give us a call for the quiz. We've got the 3 questions. We'll take you off air because we've run out of time talking about Bon Scott and now about the continuous call team. But I said...
Turn left onto Linkfield Road.
I said in the intro to the show this morning that this is a unique situation that rugby league's created, where next year Jerome Luai will be part paid by one club, part paid by another club he's playing for, while he jets over to PNG to fulfil third-party deals for a club he'll play for in 2028. It's just a mess, isn't it?
It's really tricky, and I hope the CEO can explain it for us. The thing that I can't wrap my head around is you're paying one of the biggest names in the game $500,000 to go and play somewhere at Parramatta, where he's going to team up with an Origin player, could potentially go on and win a comp.
Absolutely.
Is the CEO and the coach going to stand there next year if that happens and say, we made the right call?
Yeah.
So it's really tricky.
If you're a Tigers fan, you're entitled to be filthy, I would have thought.
I agree.
Absolutely. That's Mark Levy. Continuous call team coming up. I should have said the big guys here, and of course Mark Levy here as well. And I've got a lot of your feedback as well, just talking about AC/DC and Bon Scott. Brendan says first concert I attended was AC/DC at Warwick Farm Racecourse, March 1976. Bon stumbled on to the stage but was just so good, the ultimate frontman. James says he was privileged to meet Bon. He was 19 years old, playing at the Bondi Lifesaver live music venue before they became an international act. During a break between sets, I was playing a pinball machine in the outdoor veranda, fresh air area. Bon walked up to me looking like a tattooed bikie, asking me to join or share the machine. He treated him like a little brother, bought him a drink, one of the kindest guys I've ever met, nothing like his image. And Mick saying Bon Scott turned up at Victorian Police Pipe Band to learn basic bagpipes, maybe for a long way to the top. That could be true. The police member's name was Charlie, and many slabs later said he was a great bloke. Yeah, I think there's a lot of feedback that Bon Scott was almost as normal as you could possibly be, even though he became a superstar. And Chris says in the late 70s, I was walking through Haymarket, drifted into a small pub, and Bon Scott was finishing a small gig with AC/DC. There's a really good documentary series on YouTube. I think it's a journalist from News Limited that put it together. If you go to YouTube and search history of AC/DC, something like that, you'll find really good reference to all of the things that they did in the early days before they became superstars. So go and check it out. It's just after 5 minutes to 1. We'll take our final break and be back before the news.
When you need someone in your corner, count on
4 years old. I've been renting a house. I have an autistic son that I look after. I had a phone call from a young lady.
Should get through this set of lights. Usually this goes green, right arrow when there's a bunch of cars go by.
gone. I know. O'Brien Electrical and Plumbing.
Stop searching for tradies. O'Brien Electrical and Plumbing Coopers Plains do both. Just one call and you'll have reliable quality tradies on your door to fix your plumbing, electrical and hot water. For 24/7 same-day service and 35 years of expertise, call O'Brien Electrical and Plumbing Coopers Plains. 3277 345. Electrical license 84362 QBCC 102708.
KFC's new lunchtime box full range packs maximum chicken abundance into 5, 10 and $15 boxes. Good for you, bad for box.
In 500 metres, turn left onto Bridgman Road.
Not everywhere and not forever, no swaps.
To Harvey Norman, 10% in bonus gift cards. This weekend only. Get 10% of your purchase price in Harvey Norman gift cards when you spend $500 or more on selected products. Bonus.
Turn left onto Bridgman Road.
Cooking and home appliances, bars and computers, mattresses, furniture, flooring and much more. Best brands, best range, best prices and 10% in bonus gift cards this weekend only at Harvey Norman.
Continue on State Route 40 for 5 kilometres.
Running a small business isn't easy. Trust me, managing 2 cafes can keep me awake at night. That's why 4BC Mornings has teamed up with On Deck Australia to give 4 local local businesses a $1,000 cash boost. To go into the draw to win, head to the win page now at 4bc.com.au and tell us what a $1,000 boost would do for your nominated business. Jason's Business Boost, thanks to OnDeck's unsecured lightning loans for fast-moving small businesses. Visit ondeck.com.au.
Set sail with Norwegian Cruise Line and effortlessly explore the Mediterranean, Greek Isles and Northern Europe. Choose from 10 spectacular ships with immersive sailings featuring extended time in port. Back on board, enjoy 24-hour complimentary dining, live entertainment and more. Last chance to save big on Europe 2026 or secure 2027 itineraries selling fast. To book, contact your travel agent or ncl.com. Norwegian Cruise Line. It's different out here.
You're listening to Weekends with Trent Nikolic, filling in for Luke Grant on Brisbane's 4BC.
Trent Nikolic with you for Luke Grant. Now, we had a quiz winner, Lois from Mascot. She's won the quiz. Thank you so much for calling in, and thank you for all the calls for the quiz in general. Greg says, Trent, forthwith you'll be referred to as the piranha. Whenever someone throws out some bait, you bite. Greg, calling out stupid text messages isn't biting, mate, at all. It'd be no fun if I just read out messages of people that agree with me. I think it's more fun when we have a bit of a debate. No biting, just a bit of a response to silly text messages, which I think is a bit of fun. Rob, thank you for your support and for listening in. To Liam and James in the studio here with me, thank you for your work today, and obviously my team, Kitty and Camilla. Thank you so 9 and 1 as well, running up to the continuous call team. Trent Nikolic with you for Luke Grant, and I'm on next weekend again as well, as I said, and Luke will be back. ACDC as well, and as I said, check out that documentary series on YouTube if you can. Trent Nikolic with you for Luke Grant. 1 o'clock news is next, continuous call team after that, and I'll be back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Chapel Hill, Forest Lake, Nunda. 4BC is Brisbane. BC News.
Good afternoon, I'm Sarah Wiedersame. The federal government has hit out at Pauline Hanson's appearance on a British podcast hosted by a far-right activist. Senator Hanson sat down with Tommy Robinson during a visit to the UK last week. During the interview, the One Nation leader told Robinson that the end of the White Australia policy, in her words, marked the beginning of Australia's immigration issues. Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke says Australia is a better country since moving on from the policy.
I never thought when I entered Parliament that in my political lifetime anyone who'd been elected to Parliament would be calling for White Australia.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has delivered the government's preliminary response to its special envoy's report into Islamophobia in Australia. It includes a review of the education curriculum to strengthen racial and religious tolerance, new multicultural grant programs and additional mental health support, especially for Muslim women. But it's rejected calls for an overhaul of counter-terror laws. Mr Albanese says Australia's terror laws are based on the most appropriate advice from Smart Traveller is advising travellers making their way to Laos. The US have exchanged missile strikes for a 7th straight night since US President Donald Trump declared the temporary ceasefire was over. Despite the ongoing conflict, the federal government says Australia's national fuel stockpile is larger than when the Iran conflict began. The latest fuel update shows the country has 46 days worth of petrol in reserve, 39 days worth of diesel and 34 days worth of jet fuel. Australia's peak medical body is raising concern about the rise of health misinformation online. The Australian Medical Association has moved to reaffirm the role of trained doctors in a changing digital landscape. AMA Vice President Dr Julian Raitt says AI assistants struggle to provide accurate guidance around medical issues.
Of course, we believe that healthcare is a team effort, and obviously doctors have a unique role to really diagnose and coordinate safe care, but also to explain the evidence to people and make sure that it's relevant to their particular circumstances.
In finance, $1 is buying around 69 US cents.
It's about stories, about connecting.
In 400 metres, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto the old Northern Road ramp to Everton Park.
The first clash of today's AFL action gets underway this hour with Port Adelaide up against Fremantle. Later, the Kangaroos meet the Demons, Collingwood challenge Carlton, and the Eagles face the Lions. In the NRL, the Bulldogs are looking to reverse their fortunes when they face a desperate Tigers. Canterbury come into the clash 4 points off the top 8. Bulldogs coach Cameron Ciraldo says his side still has it all to play for.
I think we're looking at glass half full at the moment, and it's not exactly where we want to be, but we're still...
Stop killing your eyes watching movies or playing games on that tiny phone screen.
I think I am still live, actually. Looks of it. Hey, Dragon Model. Sorry I couldn't read chat.
Brisbane's 4BC.
It's the final week of Kids Footy Month, thanks to Coles. Be there at Peopleverse Stadium on Sunday, July 19, when the Gold Coast Suns take on the Western Bulldogs. Bring your very important kid along for the red carpet treatment, including free snacks, inflatable activities.
I haven't seen Trisha on YouTube for a while, but I've seen her on.
Get in on it. Get your 2026 Toyota AFL Premiership season tickets today.
Your happy place is just a click away with Celebrity Cruises Winter Sale. Book now and enjoy up to 75% off your second guest. Plus, save up to $1,000 per stateroom. Explore hidden gems in Australia and New Zealand, immerse yourself in the rich culture of Asia, or experience the iconic beauty of Europe. Whatever the destination, nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises. Visit celebrity.com/au or contact your travel advisor. T's and C's apply.
Business owners and decision makers. 4bc.com.au/advertise.
Partly cloudy and medium chance of showers. Winds southerly at 15 to 25 kilometres an hour before becoming light in the late evening. A shower or two tomorrow with top of 22 degrees after an overnight low of 15. Looking further ahead, showers Monday and 23. A possible shower Tuesday, a top of 23 degrees. Partly cloudy and 23 Wednesday. On Moreton Bay, there is a strong wind warning. Winds southerly at 15 to 25 knots, reaching up to 30 knots. Seas 1 to 1.5 metres.
You are the lowest brother.
We'll call it Falcon, no tackles.
Celebrating 40 years.
It's well known as getting the crop off. I know you speak a lot of crop.
I know what a hard on is.
The continuous call team. Now, live, right across.
Glad to get out of this car for a while. Because basically I'm just going to have lunch, have a shower, put my leg up for half an hour and then go out. And stream again. For about 2 hours. From about 4 to 6. Then up real early tomorrow morning. I'll be out at Willowbank about 5 AM, 4:30, 5 AM or something. For about 1,000 Falcons forwards, or more than that actually, I think. See how long I can last there. Because it goes for like 8 hours, 9 hours or something. Today there was no point me keep walking around because there's just too many people. Got the footage I basically needed. Thanks to the donator too. truck. It is night time in America, isn't it? Dragon model. Knowing you on YouTube for a fair while now. Thanks for dropping in. Sound alive.
And it's something she should be enormously proud of, and the girls playing the game today should be extremely grateful for that we have a major company like Harvey Norman supporting women in league. And it goes to players, officials, mums, wives, partners. Piggy was telling us on the podcast this week his mum Sandy used to pack his bag for every first grade game he ever played, even until his late 20s. So amazing. We'll talk more about that, no doubt, throughout the afternoon. And off the top of the show, I wanted to let you know next Saturday, so this time next week, we will be broadcasting live from Canterbury Leagues Club for our...
You have arrived.
Very special celebrations for the 40th year of the continuous call team. It's all thanks to Clubs New South Wales. We'll be on air from 1 till 10. I'll be there with the big man, Paul Gallen, Mark Riddell, Mark Guy, Josh Morris, Chris Warren. We'll have some of the former members of the team and contributors dropping in to say good day. We've recorded a few chats as well, which we'll play for you on the day. And big news, ladies and gentlemen, the 3 o'clock game next week, we will have a special guest, around the grounds reporter, none other than the Velvet Fog. Don Mosley will be making a return for around the grounds updates, and we cannot wait.
They're giving out
to
free
hear
Red
Don
Bulls
Mosley.
at this
As far
motorbike
as the
event
footy goes
this
last
afternoon.
night, the Roosters beat the Storm 14-6. The Sharks over the Knights 20 points to 18. And in Thursday night footy, the big upset, the Broncos over the Penrith Panthers. 3 o'clock today, Raiders and Rabbitohs. Score updates on that one. I'll call the game at 5:30 between the Warriors and the Dragons. And then at 7:35, Mike Pearson will be along to call the Bulldogs and West Tigers. We'll also keep you across the NRLW. At the moment, 6 minutes left in the first half in Canberra. It's the Raiders up 10-4 over the Roosters. As always, we'd love to hear from you this morning, or this afternoon, I should say, 131873. You can email us via the websites, and you can text us as well, 0460.
Catch us on the next one. Oops. Thanks everybody. Catch you on the next one. See you at all 4 day if you're not going to tune into the motorbike one this afternoon. Bye.